Hello, everyone. Good evening. Once again, my name is Michael Oyetunji, and I want to welcome you to another edition of Elixon Half Hour. This is a 30 minutes podcast that we always have, uh, sometimes twice a month, most of the times twice a month. And it's always very engaging and powerful session with the people we bring up to our screen. I want to tell you today that we have uh, so many things lined up for your listening and viewing pleasure today, and we're going to be talking about upscaling personal digital skills in a rapidly evolving job market. And I have a seasoned specialist to do justice to the topic today. I will be bringing him up on the stage in another um, couple of seconds. But before then, I just want to give us a little background of what we, want to talk about today. You see, the modern job market is undergoing uh, rapid transformation, like we all know, driven by tech. You see, the advancement of tech has given rise to so many things that we didn't know about before now. And as industries grow, you see that skills required to function in these industries very important. So you see that we just want to talk to you as a player in the industry, in the software and technology industry. We want to bring to the stage importance of digital skills and enhancement and the challenges it poses to people that want to function very well in that space. So I don't want to waste your time. I would just bring to the stage my very own friend and brother. He is a communications manager, Uche Ibe. How do you do today?
Hello, Mike. I'm doing good. The weather is great
Awesome,
here. Yeah,
awesome, awesome,
absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah,
Okay,
awesome. Yeah.
so Uche Ibe is a communications professional with over 8 years of experience in visual communication, marketing, brand visibility, and management. I mean, I know that he wears so many caps. He has a master's degree in architecture, and he's a practicing communications expert right there in the city of Edmonton. And I would not say too many things about him today, so as not to waste our time. Uche, can you just briefly tell us what brought us here today? Why this topic? Why did we have to talk about this topic? Looking at what it is.
Yeah. I've always been a very strong advocate for technology, dating back maybe as far as 20 years ago.
Mm,
Um, a few of my close friends will say, if you were studying law, Uche will still tell you to go get a tech skill. I
yeah.
guess I guess I was a prophet and I saw the future
Oh
because right
yeah.
now statistics say that 9 out of 10 jobs require technology skills. So
Mm,
the world is rapidly changing. Um, there are a lot of fewer internship roles now because of how much AI has become a part of our existence and our workflow. So the things
mm,
that, for instance, interns would have been doing for you maybe in a law firm, you can tell ChatGPT and it will help you write up maybe your first drafts as a lawyer. So the world is changing, and if you don't move with it, you essentially die, in that sense. So that's why we're here to see, to discuss what those issues are and to find ways to adapt and improve. Yeah.
yeah, I think I lost you for a second there, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Can you just retract 30, maybe 10 seconds? You know.
Yeah. So
Hi.
I was saying how, right now, 9 out of 10 jobs require you to have a technology skill. In
Yeah.
fact, when you do a quick search on most roles, almost every role has three trendy software or technological aid that you need, to be effective at your role. Um, right now, for instance, a lot of interns are losing roles because what you'd have needed an assistant for,
mm.
AI could help you achieve. So the world is rapidly changing for you to be able to catch on and be at the top of your game. You've just got to adapt, and if you don't adapt, essentially you die.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so Uche, can you just give us specific strategies that individuals can employ to acquire new digital skills efficiently and effectively? You've been in the architectural space, and then you switched over to the pure comms state now. Of course, you have some soft skills that you brought in, and transferable skills. So can you just give our viewers, specific strategies that they can employ to acquire these new digital skills?
Okay. So it's actually quite simple. Usually when you hear about tech in the
Mm,
African space, or for
mm,
instance in the Nigerian space, in fact, when you hear technology, everybody
mm,
gets scared. Oh, it's computers. It's something difficult. I have to code and all of that. We are now realizing that even the software developers, some of them don't even know how to code, or they don't know
mm,
as much as we used to think. So um, that's not usually the case. So usually what I'll tell anybody who wants to get more digital skills, first of all, is start from where you are. um, so while I was developing my career over time, I got involved with branding. I got involved with graphic design, visual communications, which I always had a passion for. Before I even graduated university, I had my first diploma in web graphics in the days of Macromedia, Fireworks, and Flash,
mm.
when websites were not popular at the
Yeah.
time. They were still using Joomla to design websites back in the day. And so all of that set the stage for how I began to develop my skills in visual communications. So, when I decided to make a full pivot into communications and marketing, I just leveraged what was existing, and then I skilled up on where, I upskilled where I had those um, career gaps, and because of my background and all my development over the years, it was actually quite an easy transition. So what I would advise you is, if you're going to skill up, say you want to make a pivot to a new role, or maybe you want to upskill. So for instance, every job right now, some jobs are beginning to have digital pivot. So I'll give an example.
Mm,
Um, in the HR space, for instance, people begin to, there are now roles called HR analysts, right?
mm,
So HR analysts take the numbers in the HR space, and then they crunch it, and then they break down to give information on how diverse their staff are and stuff like that. So HR teams are now merging with a role called data analysts.
mm,
So in every sector there's a way to kind of pivot, to a sector that's close to something that you want to do.
mm. Hello?
Okay. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. You're talking about pivoting into a sector.
Good.
That's why I lost
So
you.
my advice would be assess your skills. LinkedIn has this feature where you can input your current skills, and it will give you all the job roles that are close to your current skill, right?
Mm,
It will give you an analysis, and it will also give you a skill gap analysis. LinkedIn has that feature. And then you can also do that with your regular chat GPT. You put in your resume, and then you type in a prompt that you can tell, say, analyze this CV and give me 10 related roles that I could pivot into. And then after doing that, you could now pick one or two of them and tell ChatGPT to give you an assessment of the skills that you need to get you to that point. So that's what I would advise you to do. Look at where
mm,
you are at, look at what's an industry standard. I always advise people, don't just look at your region, try to look at a global standard.
mm,
look at what's needed in that field globally, and then try to get micro credentials. So micro credentials are essentially small short duration courses that you can take, to give you information, on those different areas. So for instance, I had to take courses in marketing. I had to take courses in Google Analytics. I had to take courses in public relations and all those kind of stuff. So when you do all those little skills, then you have better information, you have more skills that you can apply, to give you that edge, and then that makes you stand out and makes you very, it's like you become a square peg in a square hole.
and square hole. Now, beautiful. So I would just merge this question for maybe just 1 minute for you to take, because I have a lot of questions to ask you, and we don't
Yeah.
have much time, with us. So
Hmm.
now you see, you talked about people using AI tools and all of it to get all these things done. Now, I know that AI is of course robotics and pre like a machine learning, machine language, sort of. So how do they do these things without sounding like every other person in their field? Because when you ask AI something, I'm sure if 50 people ask AI something, there is the propensity that they would get the same answers in like maybe just 50 different ways. So there's a saying that when you use AI to get some things done, maybe for your projects or for things even in the office, you may be caught, you may be seen, they may know that you really use a tool. So how did you navigate all of that?
Okay, so this is the way I see it.
Mm,
When I was in a job interview, and this was a particular question that was thrown at me, and I told them, you see, AI is a tool. If you don't know what to do, you really can't tell it, what to do. So, say you're
mm,
going to write an article on you know upskilling, for instance, and then you just punch it into ChatGPT, and you say, hey, ChatGPT, give me a 250 word article on upskilling. So ChatGPT is just going to give you a generic response. But if you had, say, summaries in your mind of particular quotes you wanted in your article, or particular emphasis that you had in your article, or say you had a particular reference that you had in mind, or summaries of some paragraphs, you do
mm,
that first input
mm,
into that AI software, and then it gives you a more customized output, and that is more tailored to what you want. And
mm,
eventually, you see, the truth is, I'm in communications. I do a lot of writing, I do a lot of proofreading. When you have a specific message, if you know your job and you have a specific message, and there's a particular kind of emotion you want to stir, you realize that even AI may not be able to particularly give you what you want, or is giving you
mm,
suggestions that don't particularly fit. So,
mm,
um, have a personality, in your job. When you have a
mm,
personality, it's easier to use AI as a tool. When I'm doing, for instance, also maybe a graphic design, and I have to have a particular concept in mind, and then AI helps me generate an image, that can help me express my concept. But
mm,
if I just went and I said, oh, I need a poster of this, it's just going to give me essentially you know what's available, what's kind of generic. So like I said, AI is a tool, right? And for you to be able to use a tool effectively, you must actually also know what you're doing.
exactly,
You
exactly,
understand? So I think
exactly.
that's the
Yeah,
real.
I
Yeah,
get the point. Like a carpenter, you know where to use the hammer, you know where to use the
exactly.
chisel and all of it. So
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
so that's fine. So at this point, because we deal with software, we deal with recruitment, we deal with people that we mentor people, we help people to become what they we help companies to also grow. And I'm so excited that we have our managing director here with us today. I'm talking about Emmanuel Abolaji, and he's the backstage. I'll just bring him up stage for him to interact with you. Hello, Emmanuel. Are you here with us? Oh
Sure,
yeah.
sure, sure. Hi,
Awesome.
Michael. Hello,
Yeah.
Uche. How are you?
I am doing good.
Thank you
Luckily,
for.
we're namesakes, so
Are you? Oh, really?
It's an honor.
yes, yes, yes.
Nice, nice. Thank you for joining the session. I mean, I've been learning a lot listening to you, right?
Mhm.
So, and it's fantastic. Right. Thank you once again.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Do you have any question, any interaction you want to make, or I
Oh,
should just
well,
fire on?
uh, I think I'm still listening to him, and I'm still learning a lot. So I don't
Okay.
want to interrupt the flow.
Okay.
Right.
Oh,
I'll
awesome.
I'll definitely pop in a line or two when I'm ready. Right.
Okay.
But let him keep flowing, please.
All right. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'll bring you back when we about rounding up. All right. Thank
Sure.
you. Okay. So, Uche, let's just move on. Now, can you share examples of individuals or organizations? I know you've talked about this in passing, that have successfully upskilled their workforce, for instance, making people to uh, maybe merge roles together, making people that are doing one thing to do something else, which you have done. I'm aware of that. So can you give us examples? I mean, maybe not really in an example way, but you can just share an insight into that.
So, like I said, um, technology is here to stay. Technology is costing people jobs. It's also making some people earn a whole lot more money.
Mm,
But essentially, when you look at traditional roles, you see that pretty much because of how much tech has made people's jobs easier, you can see that roles are being collapsed. A good example would be a very common tech role that's quite popular, which is the business analyst role. Now,
yeah.
before now, business analyst roles were essentially accounts related,
Mm,
people who were more financial management, business management professionals, and all of that. But
mm,
right now, because technology has become inseparable from business.
mm,
Business analyst roles have now become a tech role in the sense.
mm,
Why are they become a tech role? You now need someone who knows the technology
mm,
and then who can take the technology and has a business sense and is able to now merge both of them. So the person is able to look at a business process and say, oh, this is missing in our process, or this can be compressed, or this can give better customer retention, or this can improve our sales, and all of that. So the person is able to integrate technology as a whole into their service feature to reduce inefficiencies and increase
mm,
profits.
mm,
So that's a very good example to show you how tech has become essentially part of our everyday existence. It's good for us to know also that there are predictions that the traditional 9 to 5 might disappear in a few years.
mm,
you know yeah, because the reason is with the huge advancements in I mean, it just goes to show that machines could develop to the point eventually where human beings be, or maybe the human beings that you need to intervene will become a
yeah.
whole lot fewer. Now,
Pure. Yeah.
not to sound like a doomsday prophet, but the thing is, it's a reality you need to wake up to, and
Mm,
waking up to that reality changes the game totally.
mm,
Something else that I want to put out there, for instance, social media. A lot of
mm,
people are against social media. Oh, it takes a lot of time, it makes people antisocial. But right now, any business who is not on social media, who is not on the internet, you can't make sales on the internet, on social media platforms, on your website. It's almost dead in the water when you're starting out. There's hardly any organization that doesn't have a social media team. So it just shows you how much technology has permeated every part of our existence, and
mm,
how that
mm,
if you just don't roll with the tide, you're just going to be caught napping. So
mm,
I think the summary of what I'm trying to say is, there's no avoiding it. But the good thing about all of this, which is something I think I need to emphasize as much as I'm emphasizing the need, is that organizations realize that
mm,
tech is continuously evolving. So
mm,
if you eventually do skill up and you're able to transition to a role, there's a lot of room for on the job learning.
mm.
There's a lot of room because softwares are always being updated
Yeah.
every year, every 6 months. New technologies are being rolled out. For instance, in the communications and marketing space, people are beginning to integrate CRM software with marketing software, to make it more efficient. So it means now sometimes the marketing team, is essentially also the customer service or customer retention team. So that's to just show you that the technologies are evolving. As they are evolving, organizations do realize that there's a need for you to give some room for your team to learn on the job, to improve their skills, and to keep adapting. So
Mm,
when you make that transition, I don't want you to think, oh, I got to get all the knowledge at once. I have to know it, to perfection. Not really. If you are able to do the basics, and you're able to, show your mettle in your role, you are able to transition into those jobs, and then eventually you grow on the job. Every software, for instance, every software engineer, every software developer is going to tell you for free that 70% or 60% of what they do, they still have to, set up new methods, or they have to
yeah.
set up processes. And that's
Yeah.
because that space is also evolving rapidly.
Mm.
Languages that they used 2 years ago, someone has made something quicker that is now maybe becoming industry accepted. So just
Okay.
imagine.
Uche,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going to hold your thought because I need to get to this next question, and I think it's on this next question we're going to wrap up because and I also believe that maybe we'll bring you back on this next question. I want to talk about return on investment. Okay, but hold on to that. Now, I want to tell our people at the
The
backstage,
audience.
if you have any question, you can put them up or on the screen for us to to share. Please put your questions on the screen. I mean, just send them here, and I can see people at the backstage, telling us. So thank you so much. Good stuff from Violet eBay. I can see Kehinde Olabode saying, "Please, I'm listening from work. Can you share the recorded meeting with me? Thanks." All right, so I'm going to tell our back end team to do all of that. We are going to. So if you've dropped your email, if you, of course, before you are here, you've apparently registered, so we'll reach out to you and then send you the links as when we are done. Now, Uche, let's talk about ROI. How can individuals measure the return on investment on their of their upscaling efforts? Because like we're discussing yesterday, I told you that for someone like me, when I was trying to upskill, I did a lot of investment into a role which I thought I was going to function in. But at the end of the day, I saw that my transferable skills were enough for me to upskill into where I am currently. So, and I spent a lot of money. So how do you advise, what do you say to people that are in this kind of situation? Please, 2 minutes for us to answer this question. I know it's a
Yeah.
lot,
So
but let's go.
yeah. So I mean, it's very simple. It's very simple. Like you said, if you have poor direction in where to upskill, and you're not upskilling around current skills that you have, it makes your transition longer. It makes it more tedious, because say you were a farmer and then you're transitioning into a teacher, all the things you have to learn are a different skill set. But if you're a farmer who is transitioning into agric management systems, that's
Mm,
easier because you already know a process. So um, just like you said, the best thing is to stay within something that you're already familiar with, and find ways, to improve your value in that point, from that place. And you see, the truth is this: the roles are there, the jobs are there globally, the jobs are
mm,
there, and they are looking for people who have these skills. And I think the best return on investment is the fact that you are earning way more money than what you're earning currently.
Yeah.
There's a lady on Instagram. She's called the Millennial in Depth, in Debt. Sorry, and she talks to millennials about saving money and all of that. She was a classroom teacher who transitioned into becoming a training expert and an education expert in the tech space. And
Mm,
right now she works from home. She's a very good example of return on investment. She's anyway more than she does. She has the freedom to travel while she works, and she's making a whole lot more money. What else is better than that as regards return on investment? So I think it's
mm.
pretty straightforward.
It's
Upskill
pretty
and invest in
straightforward.
stuff. Yeah,
It's pretty
absolutely.
straightforward. All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Uche, on these. I would like to bring in one of my colleague, Damilola, to just tell us a little bit about what we do at Elixin Limited, and then we will move on and wrap up from there. We just have about 4 minutes to do that. Damilola, I'm going to bring you up from the backstage right about now. Um, okay, Dami, are you here with us? Um,
Hi everyone.
oh,
Can you hear
okay,
me?
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Although you're not well lit, but let's just you know hear you there. Awesome.
Alright,
Yep,
hi
you speak on.
everyone. Thank you, Mr. Uche, for joining us. Uh, I would like
Pleasure.
to give a brief of what we do here at Elixon Limited. So, at the heart of our mission is a commitment to transforming visionary ideas into tangible outcomes. And as a result, our services include software development, and services and educational consulting. So please feel free to look through our portfolio on our website and do not hesitate to contact us at your own convenience. So do well to visit us at www.elixonlimited.co.uk. See you some other time. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that, Damilola. Thank you for giving us that insight. We're going to send you a link for your feedback, and then you can get across to us. And we help manage, we help people grow web businesses to thrive. We help businesses to survive, and then we help people to also transition into whatever space they want to, both within the UK and outside the UK. I think I'll have to bring up Emmanuel back again to see if he has one or two um, things to tell us. Um, I don't know. Are you here with
Yeah,
us?
I'm here. I'm here. I've
Okay.
been here. I've been
Okay.
listening, and it's so much. I mean, there's a lot to learn from Uche, and I hope when I mean, re-invite you, you do us a pleasure, Uche.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I've been
Right.
passionate about this for a long time, so
Yeah.
for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So just like you mentioned, uh, there's no gainsaying about it, irrespective of any field, irrespective of the field you belong or your profession. Technological skills. I beg to use your language. You either embrace it or you die. Or you
Absolutely.
I really like that because it's just going to take over everything. It's going to take over everything. It's a matter of time, right? And
Absolutely.
the more you embrace it, the more you evolve with it as things evolve. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Thank you.
very much. So
Absolutely.
there's a
It's a
Yeah.
question
pleasure.
I would like us to take for 30 seconds. We don't have time because we have less than 1 minute. Someone says that for someone in the education, let me bring up the question. Okay, I'm learning a lot.
Okay.
For someone into education, how do you advise I upskill my skill? Thank you. Before you answer, please, if you can send us an email, we can give you some of these tips. Just reach out to us. We're going to drop the email address for you to reach out to us. But I think Uche can just do justice to that for like 30 seconds, please. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, that's a real life example. So I mean, that's to show you that it's something that can be done. The major skill that you have as an educator is that you are able to impact knowledge. So you need to take that skill and find where it's needed generally. So people have edutech companies right now, and they're looking for people who can transition or explain how to use your curriculum so that people can learn. Part of the things that you learn as an educator is curriculum development, and that's a skill. You know, we are the one who look down on it, but that's a skill. People who are into transfer of skills, framework formulations, and training, professional training. That's also it's also a kind of education and upskilling. So all that is needed, in the edutech space, in professional training space, in the consulting space. So what you need to do is to find a way to improve on those skills, get some more micro credentials that can make you a how do you call it now, like an established professional in education, curriculum development, training and all of that, and then find where those needs are and then try to fill them in. Find also trendy softwares that are required for that particular skill. Like I said, a simple ChatGPT prompt will help you, give you a list of trendy softwares in your particular field, and then go ahead in and start learning those softwares. Also, look at those soft skills, try to improve them, and then make yourself, an authority in that field. So you are going to be the first person that they turn to.
All
100%.
right, that's great. That's a very good
You
analysis.
know
So,
what, Michael? I
yeah.
also learned how to use ChatGPT better from this today's session from Ichi. I'm telling you. Thank you so much.
That's okay. That's
Awesome.
okay.
That's great. So I've dropped the feedback form on the chat box for you to see for those that are in our webinar space. Please just go ahead and send us a feedback. Reach out to us if you have any if you want to transition. We can help you as
Hmm.
an organization. We can
Hmm.
guide you. You don't have
Yeah.
to go through the pitfalls. You don't have to
Yeah.
do all the things that that we experienced. You don't have to pay
Hmm.
a lot of money to get all of that done. We can
Mm.
help you. Just give us a call,
And,
send a
and,
mail
and,
across
and
to
as a
us.
matter of fact, Michael, just to chip
Yeah,
this in about consulting services,
yeah,
how we help. So, for example, you've been able to acquire and you've harnessed your skill, be it digital, be it, I mean, any skill you've got. We've got a service where we help people to transition their skill into viable business. And I think we should have a session about that to talk explicitly about how people can leverage on that service. What do you think, Michael?
yeah. It's a good thing. It's a good
Yeah,
thing. We
yeah,
can.
yeah, yeah.
We can definitely get that done. So I don't have time. I usually don't spend
I
more than
know,
I have
but this
spent
session is so
yes,
impactful, so
I've spent three
impactful.
minutes out of our time upscaling personal digital skills in rapidly evolving market. Now, Uche, what I think we should do, so as not to break this flow, I think we should
Mm,
bring you back. I suggest we should bring
definitely,
you back and talk
definitely.
about this. Maybe we can make it 1 hour and then do
Hmm.
practical sessions and see
Yeah.
how to help people.
Absolutely.
Because I
Sure.
know that a lot of people need this. I know a lot of people that want to transition
Absolutely.
and they don't
Absolutely.
know. So we can talk about that after the program now and see how that moves on, which I'm so very grateful. Out of your
Absolutely.
busy schedule, you gave
Thank
me
you.
30 minutes out of your time. Time is so precious for us that stay outside in this space.
We charge we charge on the hour. We charge
We
on the
charge
hour.
on the hour. So, but it's a very beautiful one for us to see. Let me see what we didn't take. Okay, okay. So I've seen a lot of people, a lot of comments. I can't take everyone. Please,
Mm,
okay, Joy, you want to say I came late? Don't worry. Just drop your email. Ensure that you've given us the right email. If not, just visit us at elixonnltd.co.uk and send an email to us, and we will get back to you. And we'll also send you our communication materials as well that we do to people that are on our mailing list. Thank you, everyone, for coming to the show today. I really appreciate you. And I remain your host for this show, Elixir Alpha, Michael Oyetunji. Thank you for coming. Have a great weekend ahead. Bye for now.
Bye.